Okay, before we start our formal session, let us pray to our Lord. Lord, thank you for the opportunity to learn and grow. Please grant us the discipline and focus to continue our studies at our own pace and the wisdom to understand and apply what we learn. Help us to stay motivated, patient, and persistent in this journey. In your name, amen. Okay. Magandang araw po sa inyong lahat. Magandang umaga, magandang hapon, at magandang gabi. So while watching, sana we are healthy and in very, very good shape. So now, I will share my slide to start our presentation. Okay. Okay. Today, pag-usapan natin ngayon, isang topic na hindi tungkol sa isang negosyo, hindi lang tungkol sa isang negosyo, kundi pati na rin sa impact ng mga negosyo sa ating society. And that is the corporate social responsibility or the CSR. So, alam natin kung bakit ito napaka-importanting bahagi ng mga companies, lalo na, of course, sa panahon natin ngayon. Okay? So, what is CSR? Diba? Corporate Social Responsibility. It refers to the practices and policies na ginagawa ng mga companies para magkaroon ng positive impact sa ating society. Siyempre, hindi lang ito tungkol sa pagpapalaki ng income or ng kita, kundi pati na rin sa paggawa, okay, ng mga actions that benefits the environment, the consumers, employees, communities, and of course, other stakeholders involved. Kumbaga, CSR is a company's way of giving back to the society that allows it to thrive. So, for example, let's look at Patagonia. So, a well-known outdoor clothing brand. So, their commitment to the environment is so strong that they donate 1% of their sales to environmental causes. So, hindi lang sila nagbibenta ng jackets and gear, they are also helping in preserving the environment na kung saan tayo rin as consumers benefit. Okay? So, now, bakit nga ba mahalaga or importante ang CSR para sa mga businesses? Okay? Well, there are several reasons why companies integrate CSR into their operation. So, let's break it down. Okay? Number one, una sa lahat, CSR can really improve a company's brand image. So, mga companies na kilala for their CSR initiatives tend to gain a stronger reputation and mas loyal yung customers nila. For example, yung Ben and Jerry's, okay, known for advocating for social causes like climate change and social justice, has a loyal customer base who feels good supporting a brand that aligns with their values. Kumbaga, kapag yung isang kumpanya ay nagpapakita ng malasakit sa environment or yung sa mga social issues, mas madali nilang nakuha yung trust and loyalty ng kanilang mga customers. And at the end of the day, people like supporting companies that stand for something, hindi lang basta-basta produkto o serbisyo. Okay? Second, CSR initiatives also help attract and retain talent. Okay? Alam natin na maraming employees today are looking for companies that practice ethical behavior at hindi lang puro negosyo. They want to work for companies na mayroong malasakit sa community at yung may purpose beyond making money. Ang very good example of this is the Google. Okay? Alam na alam natin yung Google. So Google's commitment to sustainability and its employee-friendly policies make it one of the top companies to work for globally. So kung ikaw as an employee, pipili ka ba ng company na puro profit lang yung inaatupak or iniisip? O yung may malalim na commitment sa mga social issues na mahalaga rin para sa iyo? So mas madali para sa mga companies na makakuha o makuha yung mga skilled workers na ito kapag ipinakita nila na they care not just for their profit but also for the greater good. So next is another important reason why the CSR is crucial for the risk management. By implementing the CSR programs, companies can reduce the risk associated with the environmental, social, and the governance issues. Halimbawa, ang isang company na nagpapakita ng environmental sustainability efforts tulad ng reducing carbon emissions or the waste management ay nababawasan of course yung risk of facing penalties or negative public perception. And at the same time, they are also future-proofing their operation. So imagine this, okay? Yung factory that reduces waste by recycling materials is not just helping the environment, di ba? They are also avoiding the costly fines, yung mga damages to their reputations na dahil sa mga pollutions. It's a win-win, okay? CSR also leads to better operational efficiency. So initiatives like sustainability efforts, energy efficiency, or waste reductions can help a company save costs in the long run. So let's say yung isang company ay nag-invest in a renewable energy sources for their operations. Eventually, magiging mas mura yung kanilang operational cost dahil hindi na sila umaasa sa mataas na presyo ng kuryente or fossil fuels. At the same time, they are contributing to a greener environment. So, efficiency, di ba siya? And of course, lastly, investor attraction is another reason why CSR matters. Investors today are becoming more conscious about where they put their money. So many are now looking at CSR efforts before making investment decisions. Companies that align their business with social and environmental responsibility are more attractive to investors who are conscious about sustainability. Take the Tesla, for example. So aside from their electric vehicles, Tesla has built a reputation for promoting renewable energy and sustainable technologies. So investors are attracted rather to companies that align with their values. And this has translated to a massive investment opportunity for Tesla. Tandaan, CSR is not just a trend. It's a vital part of a company's long-term success, from building a strong brand reputation to managing risk, attracting top talent, increasing operational efficiency, and even attracting investors. So CSR plays a key role in ensuring that a business stays relevant and responsible in today's world. So let's all remember that CSR is not just for big companies. Even small businesses can contribute by implementing eco-friendly practices or supporting our local communities. Everyone can make a difference. Kaya don't underestimate the power of small actions. I hope that next time when you see a company with a strong CSR program, you will be able to appreciate how important it is for the society, for the environment, and the business itself. Okay? Ngayon, pag-usapan natin yung isang topic na mahalaga sa kahit anong business, and that is business ethics. Sa mga panahon ngayon, hindi na enough yung mag-focus lang tayo sa kita o profit. Kailangan din nating isaalang-alang ang tamang paraan ng paggawa ng negosyo. Kaya dito papasok yung mga ethical theories na kung saan pinag-aaralan natin kung ano ang tamang gawin batay sa moral standards of society. So what exactly is business ethics? Business ethics refers to the applications of the ethical values in business behavior. Ibig sabihin, hindi lang tayo dapat mag-focus sa legal na aspeto ng negosyo, kundi pati na rin sa kung ano yung morally right or wrong. So sa mga decision na ginagawa natin, it's about applying ethics in every aspects, okay? Whether in marketing, finance, human resources, or operation. So, sa madaling salita, it's about being a responsible business. Hindi lang ito tungkol sa kita, kundi paano tayo kumilos bilang isang organization at paano natin pahahalagahan ang mga stakeholders gaya ng customers, employees, and even the community. Okay. Now, let's talk about the different ethical theories na usually na ginagamit sa business ethics. So, these theories guide businesses and individuals in making ethical decisions. Lahat tayo may mga values or beliefs, di ba? But itong ethical theories, they provide a framework para malaman kung ano talaga yung morally right. So, isa-isahin natin. Number one is the deontological ethics. So, this theory focuses on adherence to rules, duties, or obligations. In this view, actions are considered morally right or wrong based on their adherence to certain rules or duties regardless of the consequences. For example, yung isang kumpanya na tumangging makipag-unayan sa mga corrupt na official, kahit pa ito ay magdudulot ng malaking benepisyo para sa kanila. So this is deontological ethics in action. It's about doing the right thing because it's the right thing to do. Kahit pa magdulot ito ng potential losses or risk sa kanilang negosyo. Next is utilitarianism. Okay, according to this theory, the best action is the one that maximizes utility, meaning the one that creates the greatest good for the greatest number of people. So the principle here is to maximize happiness and minimize the suffering. So utilitarianism, for example, a company deciding to implement policies that benefit the majority of their stakeholders, tulad ng increasing wages for the employees or donating a part of their profits to charity. So ang focus dito ay kung paano ang desisyon ay magdudulot ng benepisyo sa mas nakararami. So hindi lang sa isang tao o sa negosyo mismo. Number 3 is the virtue ethics. Okay? Unlike the first two theories, virtue ethics doesn't focus on rules or consequences. Instead, it focuses on the character of the individual or the company. It emphasizes the role of virtues such as honesty, integrity, and kindness in making ethical decisions. For example, yung company that encourages honesty and integrity in its corporate culture. So if those employees are trained to act with virtue, they will make decisions that are morally right based on their good character. Hindi lang dahil sa rule or policy. It's all about fostering a virtuous environment within the business. Finally, we have relativism. Okay, this theory suggests that moral standards are culturally based, meaning ethical decision may vary depending on culture, depending on location, or the context. There's no one size fits all, di ba? Na to what's morally right or wrong. So what is considered ethical in one culture may not be the same in another. For example, if a company is doing business internationally, they may encounter different culture practices. So in some countries, gift giving may be a form of respect or business tradition, di ba? While in others, it may be considered bribery. So this is where relativism comes in. Businesses need to be aware and respectful of the local customs and practices when operating internationally. Okay? Ngayon, gaano ba kahalaga yung business ethics sa practical world? Well, some of these challenges include bribery. Dati may mga negosyo na nagsasagawa ng mga unethical practices. Yan, tulad ng mga suhol just to get business deals. So this is a serious violation of the business ethics. Number two, sa hiring process o mga treatment ng employees, dapat walang discrimination sa race, gender, or background. Fairness and equality should always be practiced. Next, how companies manage also involves business ethics. Ensuring transparency, accountability, and integrity in leadership is very critical. And of course, dapat ang mga managers at board members ay kumikilos in the best interest of their stakeholders and investors at hindi lang para sa kanilang sariling kapakinabangan. So next is ang paggamit ng non-public information para magbenta o bumili ng stocks. Yan, unethical at illegal yan. That's the insider trading. So class, nakita natin ngayon how important business ethics are, di ba? So it is not just about doing the business, it is about doing business the right way. Okay? Whether you're following rules, maximizing benefits for everyone, fostering the good character, or being sensitive to the cultural norms, the ethical decisions you make today will determine the kind of business leader you will be in the future. Sa negosyo, hindi lang basta pera o produkto ang mahalaga. Pati yung ethics, kung paano tayo kumilos, at kung anong values ang ipinaglalaban natin. May malaking epekto sa success ng negosyo at society. So let's all remember, being ethical is key to long-term success. Okay? Okay, for a while. Okay. And now let's continue. Okay. Next is we will dive into the one of the most important topics, of course, in our business today, and that is the sustainability and the corporate responsibility. So habang yung mga negosyo ay, of course, patuloy na nag-grow, kailangan din nilang tandaan na yung success nila ay hindi lang batay sa income or the kita, di ba? Kailangan din nilang isaalang-alang or i-consider yung impact nila sa environment, sa society, sa economy. So, hindi lang ngayon, kundi pati na rin sa mga susunod na generation. So, ano nga ba yung tinatawag nating sustainability at corporate responsibility? So, sustainability in business, it refers to the commitment to economic development that meets the needs of the present without compromising the ability of future generations para ma-meet yung kanilang own needs. Ibig sabihin, dapat isaalang-alang or isaisip natin yung mga negosyo na ang growth nila ngayon ay hindi makakasira sa future natin. Okay? That's the sustainability. So while the corporate responsibility on the other hand, it involves the effort of the companies to manage its impact on the environment, society, and economy in a very responsible way that aligns sa mga expectations ng public. Hindi lang ito tungkol sa profit, kundi paano ang negosyo ay nakikinabang o nakakaapekto sa iba pang tao, sa mga empleyado, sa community, sa ating komunidad, sa environment. So, kaya nga ngayon, we need to look at how companies can integrate sustainability into their operations para, of course, ma-achieve natin yung growth na sustainable and responsible. Okay? Meron tayong mga key areas of sustainability. Okay, unahin natin yung environmental sustainability. Dito, ang focus ay ang pagsasagawa ng mga initiatives para mabawasan yung negative impact sa ating environment. Yan, tulad ng pagbawas ng carbon footprints, yung waste reductions, yung pagpapahusay ng, of course, energy efficiency. So, for example, yung companies na kaya mag-implement ng tinatawag nating green energy solutions sa kanilang production facilities tulad ng paggamit ng yan, renewable energy sources tulad ng solar or wind power. So, isipin natin na yung isang manufacturing company, okay, na nag-install ng solar panels sa kanilang factory roof, sa bubong. So, dahil dito, nakakatulong na sila sa environment, di ba? While reducing their dependence on traditional power source. At nakakatipid yan sila sa electric bills. Next is the social responsibility. This is about the impact of business on society, and it focuses on improving the quality of life for employees, communities, and other stakeholders. Hindi lang focus sa profit, kundi paano matutulungan ng negosyo ang society as a whole. So halimbawa, may isang kumpanya na nagsusupport sa mga local educations and health initiatives, gaya ng pagbibigay ng scholarship, di ba, sa mga deserving na estudyante, o kaya pagbibigay ng medical assistance sa mga barangay. Okay? So these actions can greatly improve the well-being of the community. It creates a positive social impact while enhancing the company's reputations. Okay? Pangatlo, may tinatawag tayong economic sustainability. So sa madaling salita, kailangan ng negosyo na maging financially viable at capable of sustaining operations in the long run. Kailangan ng mga negosyo na hindi lang mag-focus sa short-term profits, kundi paano nila maipagpapatuloy ang kanilang business operations habang nagiging cost-effective. Okay? An example of this is developing innovative products that meet market needs while still being cost-effective and profitable for the company. Imagine a company that develops eco-friendly product that consumers are willing to pay for because they understand the environmental benefits. Diba may win-win solutions for both the business and the consumers? So, bakit nga ba mahalaga ang sustainability? Okay, well, apart from the obvious benefits to the environment and society, sustainability also brings business advantage like long-term cost savings, di ba? Through energy efficiency and resource optimization, businesses can save money in the long run. Yun nga, for example, reducing energy consumption or the waste management cost. The second is improve stakeholder relations and trust. When businesses show their commitment to sustainability, yung mga stakeholders, whether customers yan, investors, or employees, tend to trust them more. It creates a positive image and strengthen the relationships. Okay. The next is the enhanced compliance with regulations. As government around the world tighten regulations regarding environmental and social issues, businesses that prioritize sustainability are often ahead of the curve, di ba? Avoiding potential fines and the legal issues. So, sa madaling salita, sustainability and corporate responsibility is not just a trend, it's a business necessity. Okay? Businesses na may malasakit sa kanilang environment at society while still achieving the long-term profitability are the ones that will thrive in the future. So kaya if you're looking to build a successful business, remember, hindi lang ang immediate profit yung mahalaga, kundi pati na rin yung effect mo sa community or sa mundo, di ba? Businesses needs to operate in a way that balances economic growth with environmental protections and the social being. So let's continue learning how to become responsible business leaders. Okay? Oh, ngayon naman pag-usapan natin yung governance of the CSR initiatives. Kanina napag-usapan natin kung bakit mahalaga yung corporate social responsibility at ngayon nakafocus tayo sa attention sa kung paano ito pinalalakad sa loob ng isang kumpanya. Kung paano yung mga policy, the structure, and the practice ng company yung nagpapatakbo ng mga CSR initiatives nila. So, what is CSR governance? Ang governance of CSR ay tumutukoy sa mga structures, policies at practices na gumagabay sa CSR initiatives ng isang kumpanya. Halimbawa, paano tinitiyak ng company na ang mga CSR projects nila ay aligned sa kanilang core values at business goals? At kung paano nila pinapakita na ang initiatives na ito ay nagbibigay ng measurable benefits sa kumpanya at sa mga stakeholders ito. In short, paano mo masisecure na may sapat na oversight at management sa mga CSR activities ng kumpanya para maging effective ito. Okay? Yan. The key components of the CSR governance. Okay? Una sa lahat, kailangan ng leadership commitment. So, yung mga senior management at board of directors ng company ay dapat committed sa CSRs. Kasi sila yung magbibigay ng strategic directions at sila yung mag-oversee ng CSR initiatives. Kumbaga, sila ang nagde-decide kung alin sa mga iniisip nilang proyekto ang magiging focus ng kumpanya at kung paano ito magiging sustainable. So, halimbawa, may mga company na nag-establish ng CSR committee sa kanilang board para yun yung mag-monitor ng progress ng kanilang initiatives. And it ensures na may accountability sa bawat proyekto at may strategic oversight mula sa top management. Pangalawa, kailangan ng mga kumpanya ng policy development. So dito, ang mga kumpanya ay nagde-develop ng mga clear policy na mag-outline ng kanilang CSR projects, strategies, at paano nila susukatin ang success ng mga initiatives na ito. So kailangan malinaw kung anong goal ang gusto nilang achieve at paano nila ito susukatin. For example, may mga kumpanya na nagkaroon ng sustainability policy na nagsasaad na commitment nilang bawasan ang carbon emission nila ng 20% sa loob ng 5 taon. So dito makikita kung paano nila pinalalakad, okay, yung kanilang commitment to sustainability at kung paano nila sinusukat yung progress nila. Okay? Number 3, very important ang stakeholder engagement. Ibig sabihin, ang kumpanya ay kailangan makipag-ugnayan sa kanilang mga stakeholders. Diba? To understand their expectation and incorporate feedback sa mga CSR projects nila. Okay? Bawa may isang kumpanya na nagsagawa ng public forums o consultations sa community para makuha yung kanilang input sa mga proposed CSR projects. So, ito ay para matiyak na hindi lang ang company's needs ang tinitingnan, kundi pati na rin yung needs at concerns ng stakeholders nila. Okay? Pang-apat, kailangan ng transparency and reporting. Kasi yung mga kumpanya dapat regular nagre-report ng progress ng kanilang CSR activities. So madalas sa pamamagitan ng sustainability report or integrated annual reports. In this way, yung mga stakeholders ay nakakaalam kung ano na yung nangyari sa mga proyekto at paano ito nakaapekto sa kumpanya at sa komunidad. So may mga kumpanya kasi na nagpa-publish ng report kung saan dinidetalye nila yung progress nila sa mga environmental goals. So tulad niyan ng pagbabawas ng basura o pag-conserve ng energy and how these initiatives help their business. Okay? And finally, okay, kailangan ng performance measurement. Kasi dito, ang kumpanya ay nagsiset ng key performance indicators or the KPIs para masukat kung gaano ka-effective yung CSR initiatives. So kung walang sukat, paano mo malaman kung successful yung projects? Tama? So may mga kumpanya kasi na nagtatrack ng halimbawa ng water usage sa kanilang manufacturing plant. Nagsiset sila ng target na tayo nga ay magbawas ng 30% water consumption sa loob ng 3 taon. So kung magtatagumpay sila, it means they were able to align their goals with sustainability efforts. Okay? Okay. So class, as you can see, ang governance ng CSR initiatives ay isang very structured and strategic process. Hindi lang basta-basta sa paggawa ng CSR. Okay? Sa CSR projects, kailangan ng clear policies, involvements ng leadership, at accountability sa mga actions. Kailangan ng mga kumpanya na maging transparent, mag-engage sa kanilang mga stakeholders, okay? At mayroong clear performance measures para masiguradong matiyak yung CSR activities nila ay successful at effective. So, as a future business leaders, it is important for you to understand how the CSR governance works and how it impacts not just the business, but the society and the environment as well. Kaya kung gusto niyo maging leaders na may malasakit sa community, remember, CSR governance is key to making sure your initiatives are meaningful, impactful, and sustainable. Okay? Okay. So that wraps up our session for today. I hope you gained valuable insights on how the CSR initiatives are governed and how crucial it is for the businesses to align their actions with the ethical and sustainable practices. So remember, as future professionals, it is not just about the profits. It's about making a positive impact too. So see you on our next session. Stay curious and keep learning muli. Magandang umaga, magandang hapon, at magandang gabi. Stay healthy, stay happy, and God bless you. Okay?